Shall we move on to more One Piece theories?
This again? Time for your meds, don't you think?
Have you ever stopped to think about how many massive mysteries One Piece still holds? Who or what Imu-sama really is? Why does Enies Lobby never get dark? Why does Imu always remain in the shadows with that clearly non-human form? The truth is that all of these questions may share the same answer, and it is far more terrifying than you imagine. But to understand all of this, we need to go back to an arc that many people underestimated, and that might actually be one of the most important keys in the entire series. Let's try to uncover some hidden secrets about Imu-sama, so don't go anywhere, right after the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to another video from Manga Information. Today I'm going to show you a theory that might completely change everything you thought you knew about One Piece. If you think you already understand who Imu-sama is, get ready. This one is going to blow your mind. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, because every week there's new One Piece content and you won't want to miss any theories. And don't forget to leave a like, because this one is going to be controversial. Let's go. Thriller Bark. Yes, that arc with Moria that many people think is kind of slow, but it was exactly there that Oda planted one of the most important seeds for the end of the story. Brook explains something that almost goes unnoticed on a first read, but completely changes how the One Piece world works. Shadows have souls of their own. That's right, a shadow is not just a passive reflection of the body. It carries an essence, a unique identity linked to its owner. There is a natural law in this world that states a shadow must follow the body from birth until death. They are intrinsically connected, but they are not exactly the same thing. It's as if they were two sides of the same coin. And here comes the crucial detail. When Gecko Moria separates shadows from their owners using the Kage no Mi, those shadows continue to exist independently. They think, they fight, and they even display personality traits. This leads us to an astonishing conclusion. If a shadow has a soul, then technically it is a living being. And then comes the question that changes everything. Could a shadow eat a devil fruit? Think about it. We have already seen animals like Chopper gain full human consciousness through a Hito no Mi. We have even seen inanimate objects like swords and cannons gain functional life by eating Zoan fruits. Why couldn't a shadow, proven to have a soul and its own will, do the same? Now notice this interesting detail about Moria himself. Almost all Devil Fruit users receive descriptive titles like Rubber Man for Luffy or Fireman for Ace, but Moria was never called the Shadow Man. His official title is Ruler of Shadows. This may seem like a small detail, but in One Piece, Oda does nothing by accident. Perhaps the term Shadow Man is being deliberately reserved to describe someone who became exactly that, a shadow that consumed a devil fruit, possibly a Hito no Mi of a specific model, and thus gained full consciousness, its own identity, and independent will. Now let's talk about the most mysterious character in One Piece, Imu-sama. Think about how Imu appears in the story, always as a silhouette, a presence that feels more like a living shadow than a solid physical body. Many people believe this is just a narrative device used by Oda to preserve mystery, a silhouette. But what if it's literal? Look at what happened in God Valley. When Imu attacked Saint Saturn, he appeared literally as a gigantic monstrous shadow. Even Roger himself, when speaking to Garp, refers to that enormous black monster. Not that person, or that guy. A black monster. Imu is not just hiding in the shadows for aesthetic reasons. He is a mass of living darkness. Another detail that seems small is the plush toys sold in Japan of Imu-sama's silhouette. But is that really a silhouette? Sure, Japan has some strange things, but selling a silhouette? Or maybe later we'll learn that people were literally holding the true Imu in their hands. That would be absolute cinema. This logic connects perfectly with Nerona Imu, one of the 20 founding kings who formed the world government 800 years ago. And here comes a terrifying possibility. If the original Imu received the immortality surgery of the Ope no Mi, his physical body might still exist somewhere, but completely empty of a soul. As established in Thriller Bark, two souls cannot coexist in the same body at the same time. but a living, immortal body without a soul would be the perfect vessel for a conscious shadow to take full and permanent control. This would explain Imu's strange circular eyes, extremely similar to those of characters in a state of possession, like when Hakuba takes over Cavendish. Those are not the eyes of a normal human. They are the eyes of something inhabiting a body that was not originally its own. But now comes the part that ties everything together in a brilliant way. If shadows are created by the presence of light, then the shadow of the sun god himself would naturally be the most powerful of all. Imagine the contrast. An entity born from the brightest light, yet eternally condemned to be only the dark reflection of what it can never truly be. This creates the perfect antagonism between Nika, who represents light, freedom, and joy, and Imu, who would represent shadow, control, and oppression. Two opposite sides of the same origin. But there is one crucial problem with this theory. If the original body that cast the shadow dies, the shadow disappears along with it. So how has Imu survived for more than 800 years? The answer may be hidden in one of the most mysterious places in One Piece, Enies Lobby. The Island of Justice, where the sun literally never sets. What if that eternal, gigantic hole at the center of Enies Lobby is not just a natural or architectural phenomenon? What if it is a prison? The body of the ancient sun god could be kept alive and imprisoned down there, under constant and eternal light, specifically to ensure that his shadow, Imu, never ceases to exist. It would be the ultimate irony. The sun god himself being used as a living battery to sustain the existence of his own antithesis, the shadow that rules the world of darkness. If Imu truly is a shadow that gained consciousness through a devil fruit, this perfectly explains why certain forces and individuals are so threatening to the world government. First, Blackbeard's Yami Yami no Mi, the darkness fruit that completely nullifies the powers of all other devil fruits. If Imu's power is nullified, he instantly ceases to be a conscious being and reverts to being just an ordinary shadow without independent will. Second, Gekko Moriya's Kage no Mi. Someone with absolute control over shadows could, theoretically, control Imu's very existential essence. Perhaps that is why the world government sent Doflamingo to eliminate Moriya after Marineford. It wasn't just because he lost, it was because he represented an existential threat. And third and most important, the sun god Nika, absolute light that naturally disperses all darkness. The power of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or rather, the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika is not just strong, it is the direct conceptual opposite of Imu. In the end, Imu may very well be the primordial shadow of Nika himself, who at some point in the distant past consumed a Hito Hito no Mi model devil, becoming the Shadow King who rules the entire world from the empty throne that was supposed to be empty, but never truly was. So, what did you think of this theory? Does it make sense to you? Leave your opinion in the comments below because I really want to know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, leave that nice like, share it with your friends who are also addicted to One Piece, and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any new theories. See you in the next video. Until next time, Nakamas.